Dark Satellite Media.
Man, Red River Podcast, man. This in the pandemic Zoom age, this is how we do it, man. So thank you for taking time to basically talk with us because man, Stu Bangas, like everyone, maybe they know the name, maybe they don't. We do because we're super fans. And for the last 10 years, man, probably more, like over 10 years, you've been putting in work and you got my head and his head nodding. So we wanted to kind of get you on to basically, man, just talk about that catalog a little bit. Our mutual friend, Lord Goat, like we both
out.
we both had Final Expenses up on, like I had it at number 2, he had it at number one. Yeah.
Word. I like it.
The second I heard it, man, I knew it was my favorite, just killer.
I'm glad you liked it, man, because I was worried, because they do all this stuff with Necro and it's kind of, they did their own thing for so long, so I'm glad that you guys liked it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny enough that you mentioned that. I feel like I wanted to go kind of to the beginning because I feel like the origin, like I want to know where you come from and all that other shit. But it's funny that you mentioned that your beats are so sinister that I feel like it really is like you're like their lost member.
I feel,
I'm
glad you feel that way, man. Yeah, because like, I don't know, man. I just want to like, not like sound generic or like I'm trying to copy anybody, but obviously like I'm influenced by dudes like Necro, Alchemist, DJ Premier, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm glad, I want to kind of put my own spin on it though. So I'm glad you guys like the beats, man.
I think it's just a perfect like example. Like there's a lot of MCs I love and without mentioning any specifics, but like I love them, their flow and everything, but sometimes it's not the right track for them or whatever. But here you have a case where these MCs and what they're talking about and some real sinister content, it just meshes with the music perfectly. It's like they were made for each other.
Word.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think so,
man. So on this show, we talk music, movies, pop culture. So like that's kind of like what we do, and occasionally we invite guests on, and me and Brian are big into production. Like we we're like the geeks, man. We're in there, we're looking to see who made that beat, and it's like a record label or like when you see a director that you fuck with, you're like, oh shit, you're like this is like Frank Henenlotter or some shit. So we praise the fucking producer, so it's a treat to have you here. Let me just ask you like your origins, man. Where you from, and like how'd you start?
I'm originally from Virginia, like this kind of the southern part of Virginia, right outside of Richmond, Virginia.
Wow.
If you know basketball, there's a dude named Moses Malone who's from the town I'm from. It's called Petersburg, Virginia. So I'm from there. Then we moved to like outside of DC, and then so I've been lived there until I was ready to go to college. When I was about to go to college, I've been listening to rap since I was like 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of making beats, before I was about to go to college, I got saved up and got turntables. So I brought them with me to college, and I met a redneck dude out in West Virginia that was nasty at blending. It was like, he was so good, bro. He taught me how to blend. And then I just learned how to cut over time from other people. And so I started with the DJing. And since when you learn how to blend, man, you can make beats kind of easy because at least know how to match the drums with the sample. So then my buddy from Virginia taught me how to chop samples. But anyways, that's where I'm from. I'm from VA. And then I moved to Boston area right out of college. So I've been here 20 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had no idea for something. Yeah. I thought you were out of Mass, but Virginia, that's even crazier.
Yeah.
My aunt lives out in Fredericksburg, which I have no idea where that is.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Shout out to Lamb of God from Richmond.
Word, Lamb of God, word. That's what's up, bro.
Yeah. So from there, like so you moved from Virginia to DC to Massachusetts. Like, what was your musical intake at that point? Like, what were you like? You said you always listen to hip hop, but like, as a producer like you, I feel like you're someone who liked a ton of music, but also you watched a lot of film, because I feel like your production is kind of cinematic. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what did you take in from that very beginning?
From when I first started getting into hip hop, like the beginning.
Yeah, just like what would like from the three places that you moved, like you took a little bit of Virginia, you took a little bit of DC, and then you ended up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, so then I was like, first thing I ever got was like LL Cool J cassette and a Run DMC cassette from my dad, and then Beastie Boys, then in Cypress Hill, all those Soul Assassin stuff, and then when Wu-Tang hit, everyone liked Wu-Tang. I love that shit. That was like next level to me, Wu-Tang. And then let me see that. But when I got a video, I used to get these videos out of the Source where I had 10 videos a month. You would get music videos because I didn't have cable, so I couldn't watch MTV or BET or anything. But I remember seeing Mass Appeal video and Premier's like cutting up in the video. I was like, dude, this is so freaking crazy, bro.
Yo,
so that made me
hard to earn.
Hard
to earn was like when we saw, when we like me, Brian, like when we saw the Mass Appeal video, and we're from Long Island, and like so we were close to it all.
Yeah.
Hard to Earn blew my fucking skull.
Oh,
like it just blew my skull.
Yeah.
Me too, bro.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Guru, man.
So
I got to see Guru at a show once. Me and my wife were at the show. I think my wife was with me. Yo, he took off his shirt. No, she wasn't at that show. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yo, he was the man. He was all hype and all drinking and shit on stage. Anyway, shout out. Rest in peace, Guru, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad Premier got to put that last record together. I know it's probably a little like like as a producer, how hard it would be to kind of take these verses that weren't a part of these songs. So like how I can't even.
Sounded good.
They're good. Yeah, it sounded great. Yeah, it sounded great.
Those projects, sometimes, they hit or miss when they're made posthumously or whatever, but he killed it.
Yeah, man. Shout out Premier. Yo, Premier is like the nicest dude ever, too. If y'all ever talk to him, he is such a good dude, man. Shout out Premier.
Man, I hope so.
Yeah. He might be next now. Yo, but I have never been starstruck because like we're such fans of like music and movies, but like I play in a band, he's played in band, like that's what we do. And I met Premier one time by accident, and I've never been starstruck until I met that dude. I was in Queens and he was at the bank.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I'm like, how am I going to tell this dude in 2 seconds? It just, I kept it moving because I remember the beginning of Hard to Earn where Guru was like, yo, man, just say your piece and keep it moving. And I was like, I'm like, for the last 30 years, I've been bumping your shit. He's like, yo, man, cool. And that was it. I'm like,
hell yeah. That's all you got to say, brother. That's awesome, though, man.
Yeah. So, and then I saw him again at the Fat Beats 25th anniversary and shit. But so every, like I said, I play music. Brian played music too, and there was a certain point where we kind of made that pivotal point where it's like, hey, I could do that. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when that happened?
With the beats, like for a like to make a living off of it.
No, I mean just in general. You like, yeah.
Well, I got good at the blending pretty quick, so I was like, all right, I'm all right at this, and I used to do like frat parties and stuff. But my boy, from Virginia, who's a big head too, he got the MPC, and when I came back on a vacation from college, this dude is a really smart dude. He showed me how to chop on the kick and the snare and the hi-hat, and it was over with from there. Like I can do it, you know what I'm saying? I just got to find the samples, the records. I knew how to do it. I just remember chopping with him. He did songs, beats for Noriega, like Tragedy. He was getting his foot in the door. He went to prison, but he was getting his foot in the door. His name's Gorbachev. Way before me. He showed me, and I just remember we were chopping something. I was like, I could do this, man. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's dope.
Yeah,
I haven't heard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, go ahead.
I haven't heard Gorbachev used for a name, so shout out to that guy.
Yeah, man, that's the dude right there.
that's some Rocky IV shit right there.
Yeah,
but so. When you play music, you do have to link up with people. So it ain't like you're forming a band. You're kind of like making these beats. So like in the very beginning, like how do you get your beats out there for MCs to use?
The very, very, very beginning when I first started trying.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll shout out this dude. I don't really talk to him too much anymore, but there was a dude, a promoter from Boston, or he was in Boston, I think. His name's Leeds. He puts on shows in Massachusetts. And so he would play my stuff for a lot of people. He played my stuff for Reef the Lost Cause when he booked him for a show, and the dude came through. And then he would get the artists to record songs. And I kind of linked up with him. I can't remember how, but I played my beats. He's like, I like some of your beats. So then he would get Reef on some. He got Slain from Massachusetts on some of my stuff. So me and him don't really talk too much anymore, but I got to shout him out because he linked me with Reef, and then off of that, I linked with Vinny Paz. Yeah. And then it kind of snowballs after that. And then I linked with Bill through Paz. So
yeah. So because from there, like I'm thinking like the Massachusetts, like because I know Liff.
Yes.
Liff is from Massachusetts. Yeah, Slain. So like the first time I remember hearing Stu Bangas was like on the Slain mixtape.
Yeah.
Right. And from that point, like Slain was like, he was one of those dudes. Like when I first heard Rich Man, Poor Man.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this shit is like, this is like a radio hit.
Yeah.
Like that hook, the beat. But most importantly, Slain lyrically was like just his flow was like not like ridiculous. Yeah. So like linking up with him, I think that was the first time I heard the name. But it's time, and I don't even remember. That was probably way after the time that you put it out. So from there, you kind of like just start working with like Brooklyn MCs, because I know at a time there you met Esoteric and worked with him, right?
Yeah, we did an album together. That was I linked with Reef first, and then it kind of branched out from there. Then I really started building with Paz heavy, and he's like a really, really good friend of mine. And even outside of music, that's probably like one of my best friends there is. So shout out Vinny Paz, man. I linked with Esso through working with him, and then he's right around the way. So he's like, why don't we do a project? And I was like, all right, of course. And then so we did that, and then that was pretty cool, man. He's a good dude too, Esso. Shout out Esso. And then I linked with like Blackistan after that, through that.
Yeah. Because that whole guest list on Machete Mode, yeah. So that whole guest list is just like a who's who,
loaded,
like just loaded. And it was the same year that I guess Esso did Czarface.
Yeah,
so
bro.
I guess like like him and 7L maybe weren't I guess he stopped doing like the records under that name. So he puts out this solo record. But yeah, it's funny, like Paz, the Jedi Mind Tricks movement, for people that don't really follow like underground hip hop or like just hip hop in general.
Yep.
Yo, I used to go see him at SOBs all the time. Like the shit that Vinny and that crew put together is like amazing. So like just I guess you saw that, and from there it's like he's you make these beats that, once again, for a guy like Vinny, I think it's like really tailor made for him. Like I think Stoop is a genius. Yeah. But I think the stuff you do too, so I guess he took to that and you guys linked up, right?
Yeah. So I think he's told me like Stoop's a freaking legend, but I think he's not as prolific as some other dudes kind of. So he's like, well, I got to get some stuff moving, and I can't wait on y'all. Like I got it, because he's getting he makes money. So he started doing his solo stuff. That's what he's told me. And then he kind of Just Allah is not really a good dude, to be completely honest. So he's kind of out of the picture now. So, and then I took my opportunity. So he's like, I did a beat called Monsters Ball on his first album. And then we just really start connecting after that. And now every beat I make, I just send it to him. And he's like, he'll say, he said like on every beat, like, this is hard. This is crack. This is hard. He really likes it. He'll write in capital letters, this is hard. And I'm like, all right, so do I hold it or what? What do I do? So, man,
those guys, like I'll throw like Paz in there, Lord Goat, Bill, like those guys just have, they have like such a vision, and they're so influenced by like metal music or music in general. They're actually pretty smart about it, but also like cinema. And I noticed like a lot of like your album covers have that like old school Canon feel.
Yeah.
Like
especially
I know,
the Beats and Blood, man. That it looks like a Canon film from like 1980, whatever. Yeah.
That's my boy, this French dude. He's really freaking talented. His name's Vince Omega. I started working with him. He did that, and he did a couple others. He's really, really talented dude.
okay. But like growing up, like was that some of the movies that you were into? Like what were you watching that like inspired you?
Oh geez, like 80s movies. I watched all like the cheesy action movies, like the Van Damme movies, the Schwarzenegger movies, the
Chuck Norris.
Yes, all that stuff. And then I saw some. Have you ever seen like Romper Stomper or Chopper or?
Oh hell yeah,
absolutely.
When I got a little older, so all those. I did a podcast with an Australian homie the other day, and we were talking about that. So that kind of stuff. Anything action, bro. You guys are about the same age as me, probably. So
yeah,
all that kind of stuff, man.
Did you watch In Search of the Last Action Hero documentary?
No. What is that?
All right, that's up on Prime, on Amazon Prime. So it's like a 2.5 hour documentary on the history of action movies.
What is it good?
Yo, it's bang. It's got fucking like everyone.
Brilliant.
Like, it's got like everyone from James Bond to like China O'Brien, like just the most random dude, like Jeff Speakman, like just
it's a mind-blowing nostalgia trip.
Yeah,
it's right up. If you grew up in that era, forget it.
Yeah, I'm 40, so I'm imagining y'all are close to the same age. So
43, I just turned.
So we were in
47.
47. Yeah, you're like my cousin. Yeah. So we like wrestling, right? Did you like professional wrestling or no?
Of course.
All right.
Grew up on that.
Too, bro.
Yeah.
So all the dudes that were doing my son's in the other room doing like roids and freaking, whatever you want to call it. That's like, I don't know, man. We're from the same era. So
we're from, absolutely. Yeah. That's why we wanted to talk to you. Like we really like, we just love the music, man. We love the music a lot. And like you're mad cool on Instagram. So I'm like, I got to reach out to Stu. And of course, like, Goat's like, yeah, man, you got to do that.
So man, dude.
So let's talk. Like, I want to fast forward a little bit to Cannibal Hulk and Final Expenses. Like, to me, nonfiction was a big fucking deal. Like,
hell yeah, bro.
Like growing up, like they were a big, like them and the Arsonists. Growing up, like they were on Matador Records, and I was like an indie rock kid, and they were like the only two hip hop groups on there. And they were like, I mean, just a big deal to me. So how did you like link up and end up doing projects with those guys?
So I started working with Bill first. First, that same promoter named Leeds, he got him on a song for his album that I did the beat for with Slain and Reef the Lost Cause. So I knew of Bill already. But then when I started working with Paz, I think Bill started to notice my beats a little more. So then we linked, and then I did one for his album called the Grimy Awards. And it turned out really good, man. So we stayed in touch, and then I did another beat for him on another project. I can't recall, and then after that, I was like, you know what? I was like, yo, Bill, let's do a whole project, bro. What's good? So he's like, if the business is right, it's right. You know what I'm saying? So we figured out the business aspect, and then he took the whole thing, bro. Like, and he, like you said earlier, they have visions. He had a vision. The whole thing was his idea. I mean, I like to think that he chose the whole kind of, because like I like to lift weights, and I think he like kind of maybe that spawned the idea. But he came up with everything, man. And bro, that record for us was a big deal because it got like on the Billboard Top 40 for hip. Like that was good for us. I remember Bill sending me the screenshot of that. He's like, "We did well, bro." I'm like, "Yes, wow. It was so awesome, bro. It was a good feeling, man." And he's just such a talented rapper, bro. He's almost like a white Raekwon or something. It's just he's just nasty, bro. And we're doing a part 2, and I'm really excited for that. And I linked with Gore after that. So I was like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So then we just did the one we did together, and we're gonna do another one too, if God willing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, because so the concept to Cannibal Hulk is just so like ridiculous, and one of my favorite things about it that I don't know if a lot of people appreciate is Antron Singleton.
Yeah, that's the cannibal dude.
Yeah. So that's Big Lurch, yes. I think, right?
I think.
Yes.
Is he Russian?
Nah, he's from like, damn, where is that dude from? He was like a rapper from the South or some shit.
Oh,
Yeah. So like when I saw that name, but that's the whole thing. Those guys, they don't like, if you know.
Yeah.
Like they'll have these like random names, like Debbie Abono, like all these all these like fucking random shit, and you're just like, if you know, so you appreciate it more.
Lee Mazzilli references.
Yep.
I hit Gore up and I was like, yo, it's like you dropping Lee Mazzilli on a goddamn song.
What did he say?
You know, I mean, he told me the story, of course.
Yo,
he
be craziest references, man. It's just crazy, man. He did, we did a song. We did a song with this other dude, my homie Cass the God, and he got Gore as a feature on it. And Gore opened up his verse saying, "I met your mother on Christian Mingle." And it was just like he just says like the shit, like this little.
That's. We had him on, like I was doing another show, and I had him on like years ago because he was one of those people that I'm like, whatever happened to Gore? Where the fuck is Gore?
What happened? So when he like disappeared for a while. Like, what happened?
I think who, Gore?
Did he get abducted by aliens or something? Like what happened?
You know what? That might not be. I mean, that might have happened. You know, sometimes I've had conversations with him where I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But so doing a podcast, I like to talk to people who we find interesting and that we really respect, and sometimes they're on the top of their game, like you, you know. And Gore was one of those dudes where I'm like, we just lived close to each other, and I'm like, I got to talk to him. So to see him link up with someone like you, and your beats are just of that world, and I think a lot of people really received Final Expenses. Like I feel like it, like a lot of the my friends that I send it to, or they randomly heard it, they're like, yo, I fuck with this album hard. And I was so happy for him because he, you know, sometimes he can be down on himself a little bit. I don't know, but he's so good.
I know, bro. Me and Paz were talking about that once too. He just, I don't know how to even articulate it, but it's like the way you said it. He's like down on himself. I don't know why. He's a super talented dude, and he's a really nice dude. He's like
so nice,
such a nice dude, bro. Like, so I don't know, man. I don't know what his life is like, but anyway, shout out Gore, man, because I want to keep working with you, brother. I really like working with that dude, man.
I'm happy to hear you guys are doing something else. And actually, what can I ask you too? You put out so many like instrumental records, like the Beat Punisher series, or the Grime Wave, Straight Death. Are those beats like you're sitting on? You know, like, you know, I didn't do anything with them. I just want to put them out in the situation, or do you purposely? I'm going to make an instrumental record because like Grime Wave, you know, feels like a movie soundtrack. Well, I think it's listed as the original soundtrack on the.
It is, yeah.
I was looking for a movie for it, actually.
That's one of those. That dude is in one of those Italian pulp movies. I jacked that for the cover. That dude that's holding.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, just like some of those earlier ones was beats that dudes already rapped over. So I wanted to put the instrumental out because the thing is, if you make beats, sometimes people don't know is that you did the beat. So like, I mean, if you're getting paid, that's cool because you got paid. But if you're not getting paid, it's like, well, damn, what did I really get out of that? Not to like be like a dick, but you know. So I kind of put the instrumental out. Yeah. So that's some of them are beats already people rapped over, but then I just started doing ones that I make like 5 beats a day, 3 or 4 or 5 beats a day on average. So then I'm just like, let me just put some stuff out, you know. So
when you make something like sometimes you have a specific guy in mind, and you're like, yo, I think this is right. Like, do you write for specific artists, or you make them and put them out and be like, pick what you like, you know?
Yeah. So I'll tell you one thing. So I got hit up by a dude to do this album with Cannabis. I think it's going to either be an EP or an LP, but so in that case, when it's like that, and we're working on it right now, then I'm like, all right, I'm making stuff for this dude. They kind of tell me what they're looking for. Otherwise, I know what Bill, Paz, and Gore, I know what BPMs they like. So if you get in the BPM, the tempo range they want, then you're good. You send it to them, and 9 times out of 10, they're either they might not use it, but they're gonna like it. So those are my main dudes right there. Those 3 right there, and then a couple of. I'm really working heavy with Lyft now too. But you get to learn what they like. So that's kind of, long story short. Yeah, you're kind of making it for those guys. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how many projects could you work on, like, realistically at the same time? Because it's such a, like, it's a different headspace. It's almost like being in 4 or 5 different bands. You're like, okay, well, these guys are grindcore, these guys are like folk rock. You know what I'm saying? realistically, how many projects have you worked on at the same time?
Right now, I would say I'm doing the album with Bobo from Cypress Hill. That's done. So
Heavy.
And then working on one with my homie Sick Jackin. So
nice.
And then you said, yo, so they want certain things. Like I already know after a few times of sending him beats what he's looking for. So when I hear a sample or something, I'm like, all right, he'll like this. So you can do that. And then I know what I send pretty much everything I make to Paz always. So he's always working. He's like me. He just works. Bill will just now go on, yo, can I get this one? Can I get this one? If I post stuff, I'm like, yeah, boom, send it to him. So probably like 4 or 5 projects, 6 projects at once. It starts to come together pretty nicely.
Do you find in how's like this pandemic era like affect? Like I know it's affected different genres differently in the music, like bands that have like 6 guys in them that don't get together or play live, and they might be hurting right now. But I feel like electronic based music, for whatever it is, seems to be flourishing. Maybe because of like you could make this stuff by yourself and ship it. You know what I mean? Like how is this last year affected you?
It's been beneficial, man. So I've always had I think you're right about the bands, and then some of my homies that rap that made a lot of their money off touring, they're kind of bumming right now. But I never really did that. So it's been beneficial for me. I remember it hitting like May or whatever, and my job had shut down. I used to work at a substance abuse treatment center. I was like a case worker there for people with like, with addiction issues and mental health issues. But I remember the money was coming in good. And then I told my wife, I was like, yo, I ain't going back, man. So, and then since May of last year, I'm just going hard and like the money's coming in good. So it's been really good to me right now.
Yeah, right. Man. Yo, that's awesome. I got 22 years sober.
So I got 10, brother. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah. Now I'm just fat.
Hey, that's you gotta get like me, hit the gym, get addicted.
I got,
Get
but
yo, on the roids. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. So I know that you're a big Prodigy fan.
Oh yeah, man. Hell yeah.
And I also remember Gotta Serengeti.
Yeah.
Love that record. That was probably my favorite Paz solo album. So Duel to the Death.
Oh.
Like how crazy was that? You got to produce a track with Paz, but then you get Mobb Deep on there.
Man, I can't tell you how blessed I feel. Like, yo, and he paid me for that beat. Like, that's how good of a dude Paz is, bro. Like, I can't even go. That was such a blessing to me, man, because my wife would tell you I play Prodigy more than I should. Like Mobb Deep. She's probably sick of hearing it. But yeah, man, that was so freaking awesome, man. I can't, yeah, I remember when he first sent it to me, I was like, press play. I'm like, oh God, it's so crazy, bro. So yeah, man, that was incredible for me, man.
Did you know what the beat was being used for?
No. When I sent it to him, I submitted beats. I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. All right, sit and wait. Yo, I got Mobb Deep on one of your joints. I'm like, yo, peep it. And then he sends it. He sends it. He trusts me enough to hear it and not do nothing with it. So I remember I was at work at my 9 to 5 at the time. I was like, yo, I gotta go listen to this.
Yeah.
Yo.
You were like the kids in what is that? That thing you do.
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Prodigy's on my shit.
Dude,
so awesome. Real quick question then.
Yeah.
The Infamous or Hell on Earth?
Oh man.
We were gonna do a whole episode on this, like a future episode where we were gonna go back and forth.
Yeah. Oh man, you put me in a tough spot here, man. Oh God. It depends on what day of the week you hit me on, man. Because I love both of those albums, and then I'll take it and as a step further. I really, really love Murder Music, but that's because I'm a super fan. So like,
yeah.
Oh, that's a great record. Yeah,
I even like the last one. I thought I guess they called it the Infamous as well, but like there's some like banging songs on the very last one, man. For sure.
I guess for nostalgia's sake, I would say the Infamous, but
okay. Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong.
No, there's no wrong answer.
It's deep. It's deep. Also another legendary dude, man. Like, I mean, to Sean Price.
Oh,
like just amazing. Like, just his catalog. He's somebody that like I listen to Monkey Bars and Mike Tyson like to this day nonstop.
I do too.
You did a song on Mike Tyson, but you also got to do probably the first single off of Imperious Rex, Definition of God. What was that like?
Oh man, I'll tell you a story real quick. Another dude I linked with in Massachusetts named Kaz, Derek Castell. That's my homie right there. He would shop beats. He knew this kid named Jay Ronan. You know him? He's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So he knew Sean Price. So he got my beats to him, and then I remember him saying, "Yo, they're using 2 of your beats for rock and roll, and for this other one for a Helter Skelter album." I was like, "Yes!" That was like the first time I really got anything done. And I remember Sean Price emailed me, "Yo, I'm about to." He said, "Yo, what's up, son? I'm gonna pay you for these beats you don't deserve this money for, but I'm paying you." I'm like, "All right." he sent me $1,000 each, bro. And then from there, from there we started talking, man. And we were doing an EP together too, and. Oh man, I just remember I was like in a freaking deli in Quincy, Massachusetts, and my friend Chino XL hit me up like, "Yo, Sean Price died, bro." And we were like, "Damn, man, fuck," you know?
Yeah,
he was a good dude, man.
Yeah, he was real, like from what you could tell, just like a real normal dude, man. Just really good at rapping, super funny.
Yeah,
like super funny, man. And I feel like between a lot of the records he put out, but I feel like also Static, man. Static put him on some shit that really made him shine, man. Like the 21 and over with Mac Miller.
Yep.
Everything he did, man. So that's I just want to bring that up because I'm such a huge Sean Price fan. And
I'm there with you, but me and my wife love Sean Price, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
And in the very beginning, you mentioned the influences. So it's funny, growing up, Cypress Hill, I mean, like the first 2 records to me are just like, man, like, we were skateboarders, so we love that shit.
Yeah.
And then Wu-Tang, same thing. We just finished up a Wu-Tang episode, like a couple episodes back. And you got now you're working with Eric. And then you also worked with Capadonna on one of his records too, man. So like, here you are making fucking these songs, and like you're in the matrix, and people respect you because of the work that you do. It ain't like they're being nice to you. It's just they're like, "Yo, I fuck with his beats," and man, that's fucking great, man. Like what was it like just to get on a Capadonna record?
Man, I don't know, man. Like when it happens, it's like, yeah, wow, that's cool, man. And then you just keep working. That's one thing my father taught me. You just keep working, man. Like. But be grateful for everything. Be grateful for everything you get is a blessing, man. It really is, man.
Cool.
So thank you, man. I appreciate your kind words, man. Word up, man. Thank you.
And also you mentioned
what's the record? Oh, I'm sorry. No, the record coming out with Bobo. What are we looking at with that?
So that one.
What can we expect?
The name of the album is called Empires. That was his idea, and I like it. And oh man, I hope he doesn't kill me. So we got Be Real on there. We got Exhibit, Paz, Bill, OC, Sick Jackins on there. The Beat Nuts. Bro, Bobo is the fucking man, dude. He is the nicest dude. Like, so yeah, I'm happy. It's got a good mix of like really hard records and then like some that are like catchy. So I really think people are gonna like it, man. I'm excited about that.
Cool. Is he playing like percussion on it or?
Yeah, like he plays not even just bongos. Like he adds so much to the beats, bro. Like I'll send him most of my beats. My beats are pretty bare bones. It's kick, snare, little hi-hat, sample, bass. He made it he takes it to a whole nother realm with it.
Another guy.
When are you looking at a release date on that?
April.
Do you know yet? Or
yeah,
April?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
The date, but April. The record's done. He's mixing everything down in LA. And then he's going to Argentina this month, but he's going to finish mixing it. And we're like prepping the vinyl and all the merch and everything to be ready for May or April.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Another guy, Sick Jackin. I feel like he never gets his props, man. The work he did with War Porn Industries. I feel like that record came like, Divine Styler's production on that War Porn Industries record is some of the best hip hop production I've heard of the last 3 years. Sick Jackin did his thing on there. Everlast did his thing on there. Man, how'd you hook up with Sick Jackin?
Oh geez, he heard me on Instagram, bro, and then he was like, "Yo," like on one of the beats, like, "Yo." I was like, "Oh shit, what's up, bro?" So I hit him up like, "What's good?" He's like, "Yo, send some stuff through." So I sent some through, and then he sent me like some clips or some videos of him in the studio recording stuff, and he's like, "You want to do an album?" I'm like, "Yeah." So then it was like that. That's the beautiful thing about this age. You can just link with everybody now.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the beauty of, I do the same thing with like the band. Like I'll put a minute of a new song or whatever, but that's what you do. You make the beats, and then you put like a clip of it up on Instagram, and you're like, who do you want to hear on this?
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like this, like, I guess that's a good thing, right?
For me, it's been working. I'm gonna keep doing it. Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's fucking great for sure.
And I've been praising. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No,
I've been
go
praising
ahead.
your grimy, sinister beats and stuff. But I love that album you did with, if I'm getting the pronunciation right, that UK MC, Fiber, Magnolia.
Oh, you like that? Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that's like real, like smooth, some 70s soul kind of vibe to it. It's very different than some of the, the real aggressive stuff you do. And it's fantastic. Diverse.
I appreciate that, man. I try to switch it up because I remember hearing a comment once when I was young, like, I don't know, however, 10 years ago or some dude's like, oh, all his beats sound like a dude with teen angst or something that never gets laid or something like that. So I was like, all right, let me try. I got the know-how to try to do different things. So it's good to try different things. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that dude's like a UK guy, but even like the guest list had like a whole bunch of like, it had like Blackistan on it. It had Danielson, who I think is from Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, he's from Canada. Danielson's from Canada.
Oh shit, I had no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, because I so, and also like one of my new favorite dudes of the last few years, Crime Apple. I think Crime Apple is.
Oh yeah. Where's he from?
He's from Jersey, but But like my family's Colombian, so like I get his lingo. So whenever like the record he made with Muggs,
yeah, bro,
I speak Spanish. So to me, like I'm like soaking that in because he's so good with the Spanglish, but his wordplay is so, it's not, I guess it's not for everyone, but it's like lyricism. It's like pure just bars. Like
I love it, man.
It's so good, man. I'd love to hear him on.
We did one record together. It was like one of those drumless beats with like the Alchemist does now. He picked it and he killed it, bro. So I'm like, what's good? He's like, yeah, we'll see. So he's like off doing his own thing, but that's my dude, man. Shout out Crime. He's a good dude, bro.
Yeah, man. He's man cool.
Yeah.
And also like I want to bring up a really big record on the last Ill Bill record. Chrissy Snow, man. Shout out to Three's Company. You got to make a record with G Rap and Bill, man. Well,
that was
how
sick.
Great was that?
Oh, that was sick, bro. I want to say shout out my boy Rob Victim, or I'm sorry, Jeremy Page. He played the guitar on that. Yo, he killed that, bro. I was like, yo, I need some samples, bro. He's like, all right, send me like $200. I'll send you back some stuff. So I sent him the money. He sent me that one. I was like, yo, send it. Bill's like, yo, I'm getting G Rap on this. I'm like, all right, word. Then I heard it. Yo, man, that shit came out good, I think.
Yeah. That was a great record. And it's cool. Like, you get to, like you said, you make these records, you make these beats, and then from there, it's like you never really know who's going to be on them, Like,
never know.
It's like, yeah, it's like Bill's like, he'll come back, he'll be like, I got Manowar on this one. Or some shit.
Yeah.
You got like a dream collab? You've always like, like a dream scenario? Like, who would you love to work with the most to hear over your beats?
That I haven't yet would be.
Yeah, you haven't yet.
Oh, man.
Yeah, give us like a cipher.
Okay, I want to work with Conway a lot. He's really nasty, bro. So he's hit me back a couple of times, but it just hasn't happened. Let's see who else. I really like. I'm gonna work with Jadakiss. He got on me at Apathy's album. Yo, he killed it, bro.
Oh, wow.
So Jada is one of my favorites, and then he got Black Thought on there. That's another one. So.
Crazy.
Man, I gotta be honest, man. I don't know. So, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer. I haven't worked with either of those two. That'll be amazing.
Oh, they'd be amazing over your shit, man.
Yeah, for sure. Bro. Especially Raekwon. Raekwon got that, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Also, another thing,
do you remember that song Bill did with Raekwon? What was that song?
Yeah.
Called? You remember?
Coca Mosaic.
Yeah, was that what it was?
I think so. I'd have to look it up, but I think so.
Yo, did that come out on the album or something? I just remember hearing that on that hip hop game website back in the day. It was like,
I'm pretty sure it's on Hour of Reprisal, but I would have to double check.
All right, word.
I'd have to check, man. My favorite Bill, the Grimy Awards, man. I think that was like that's like my favorite Bill solo record, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And that album cover with Uncle Howie.
Uncle Howie,
But
bro.
also, one of your records. So I remember I hit you up about Noah the Flood. I never listened to that record, and I'll tell you, it was something. I remember seeing that poor little rat or mouse hanging, and I was like, I'm like, yo, I kind of feel bad for this thing, and I was like, I'll get to it, and then I knew we were gonna have you on, and I gotta say, just like the FIBA production, this production was a little different, and I love it.
Oh, thank you.
It was jazzy, like pure eminence, shit like that, like those. One of the best hip hop records that I've heard in the last few years, 100%. This record right here, it fucking blew me the fuck away. Noah the Flood, who the fuck? Like, dude, tell me about him.
I don't know, bro. Yo, Paz put me on to him. Paz always got his ear out for everything. He hears everything. So he's like, yo, you heard this dude? I'm like, nah. He's from Jersey, but he moved to Texas. I don't know why. So he's very secretive. Noah's a very secretive dude. He's kind of like, he's like mysterious. But I'm like, yo, do you want to do a record? He's like, all right. I'm like, okay. So I sent him beats, and then he started sending songs back. We hardly talk, but he's a good dude. I think he might be like a 5% Muslim dude. I'm not sure. Doesn't really matter. I'm just telling you everything I know about him. But he can rap his ass off, bro. And he's a good dude. So that's how that came about, just randomly. And the people that did hear it liked it, I think. So.
Yo, but the beats for that, like in particular, like, did you just send him shit, or did he give you like a vibe idea?
I think I put together like 30 or 40 beats after I had listened to his stuff he's already done. So I was like, let me see what I got, kind of thing. And then we kind of did it off that first batch. We just had the whole album ready after that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm probably at the end of this episode, I'll probably pick one of those songs to put on there. And then in closing, let's talk about the Mr. Lift record, Vanguard, which I'm an old Def Jux guy.
Yeah.
So
man.
to me, I remember Lift. I remember all those Def Jux shows and the Perceptionist, all that shit, man. So how'd you link up with Lift?
Oh, so we're from the same. Well, I'm not from here, but I lived in Massachusetts 20 years. He's obviously from Cambridge, I think, or he's from Barbados, but he lived in Cambridge, and so we kind of knew about one another. And then my homie Apathy knows his wife, Eternia, and I think that's kind of how the connection got made, like via online. And then I just we took it from there, and then we linked up in person off of that, and we're like, yo, you just want to do a record, bro? And he's like, yeah, bro. And then kind of one of those things. And yo, he's another one, man. It's like this thing, the great thing about this hip hop shit, man, it's like you make actual friends, bro. Like we're making money together, and then you get to be friends with people, man. I consider him to be a friend, man. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, he had this weird, I remember he dipped out for a minute, but then I found out he was like touring with like Thievery Corporation.
Yeah.
Right. He became part of like their band, because I was like, he was another one of those dudes. Like I remember Live from the Plantation. I remember all those songs, and then he kind of fucking disappeared. And then I found out years later he did he was like a touring musician with that band, and then he came back. Because Mellow Music Group, that's a good label. That label. Yeah. So he came back on there, and they got a
shout out to Apollo Brown, man. That's my dude right there too. He's a good dude.
No, listen,
amazing.
From he is. It's funny that he is one of the best fucking. He is like, I can't say enough about Apollo Brown. His production is so fucking good, man. Yeah. He is an unsung hero,
and he's a good dude too, man. Word, he's a good dude.
All right, shout out to the D. Cool, man. I mean, you got anything else, Brian?
Nah, man. Covered a lot of good stuff. I did. One thing I got to say too, just, as a fan too, I love cuts and scratching for the hooks of songs. Me and Sam, we're all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't sing. I don't need any singing, It's cuts. And that's all you, right? I mean, that's from your DJ days. You was always cutting, right?
Well, I was doing all my cuts at the beginning, but now I've kind of moved that over to my boy. I got to shout him out. Tone Spliff from Connecticut. Okay. The majority of my stuff the last few years has been him. He's nasty, bro. I met him through Apathy. Shout out Tone Spliff.
Shout out to Apathy too for being one of the most underrated lyricists. Like, he had two of my favorite singles of last year. So Be My Boo and Tape Money.
Yeah.
Those two in particular.
Yeah.
But then even like I know you're on The Widow's Son, which was, man, that record, like I Keep On, right? With
He's
Pete
been
Rock.
putting out quality shit for year after year, that guy.
Yeah, he's nasty, bro.
Yeah, he will out rap the fuck out of you. So cool, man. Yo, Stu, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Oh, likewise, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I was thinking maybe we could do another one if you guys have time, like when one of these other projects drops. I really appreciate y'all having me on, though, man. For real, man.
Yo, open.
You got an open invite, man. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yo, send me how to promote the episode. We'll both push it, all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up on Monday, but before that, I'll send you all the links and shit. So awesome. Yo, Stu. Later.
All right, y'all be good. Peace.
Later, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was etched in the flesh, a large world manifests. The very best, where the hell forgets. Just the web baguettes, carry text, carrying the steps. Trigger finger reflex, deeper than the decepts. Red ribbon army, if it ain't golly, then what are we? Started a tsunami right up in the lobby with Salafi, stinkers, Hakawaki. Look, I ain't make you mad, I'm top me. I was choppy on Biscotti and why you double cross me? Never in a million. We's busting down packs in the building. We was just children, just chilling how the show play out. From the highest to the high, to the lowest to the low. Let the safest multiply, a voter was for gold. Lo and behold, I'm going up the totem pole. Get on my scrotum, hoe, already on the bow. Dealing with growth and development, no devilment. Enough of the rhetoric, let's settle it. Lexing's grown me on my toes tint. My foes now, shit my foes then. Dealing with close kin, nothing to do with blood though. This slug though, little cutty no product though. Only A-grade floods they pay. Rain the fade, she remain away, the family was laid. Whatever the age, it's equal opportunities. I school and see why I'm writing your eulogies. My hoolies be eager to ooze it to say who is he. Y'all best to get used to me. Niggas sweating profusely, trapped up in illusion. After I catch his body, half a Houston. Pure eminence, nigga.
Dark satellite.